What you're looking at on your screen is a bunch of oh, wait. I think I've used that joke in another video. Whatever. Anyway, while having one matatu of its own kind and name like Syndicate is plausible and pretty much chaotic by itself, this fleet had not one, not two, let me just stop wasting your time, but four. Four vehicles under the name Canambo. Epic. The era around 2011 to 2017 was the absolute pinnacle of dancehall music, and high schoolers by that time knew exactly what to do with it. Whatever you're listening to today is what Mbavu Destroyer would come up with on a random Thursday afternoon. So, as easy as it was for our president to build an oil refinery in Tanzania by word of mouth, it was even easier to adopt the name Kanambo from Vybz Kartel hit song at that time, Rambo Kanambo. And if you may ask, yes, the theme too was inspired by Vybz Kartel and his music. Anyway, these vehicles came into the culture one by one under Royal Swift Circle and operated Nairobi to Embakasi route, passing along Fedha, Tasia, and those that choke under their own garbage pipeline, and many others. While each of them had their own distinct features, offset rims and portraits of Vybz Kartel came standard in all of them. Kanambo 1 was the first of this fleet, the original build that began this entire movement. And obviously, being the pioneer, you wouldn't expect it to have some cutting-edge features. He was still hot though. He boasted an orange gold theme complete with Vybz Kartel's portraits and quotes. And anything that talked about Vybz Kartel was printed there. The interior had heavy sound system, LED lightings and screens. Nothing out of the normal actually. But the hype this brother had was real. Kanambo 2 was the second comrade to come in around the early 2018s. He was the most famous of the fleet and was actually considered the peak of Kanambo franchise. If you remember correctly, the interior had fans, air fresheners, a VIP section known as Danger Zone. You really had to be there to enjoy that. Red seats and red interior LEDs, all that put together at that time was an epic combination. The exterior had rasta colors, an orange paint scheme with golden accents, and honestly, it did speak for itself. Kanambo 3 stood out from the rest, and mostly because it had a different paint scheme, green, and the fact that it had terrazzo-like finish in the entrance. Rumors say he had the most TV screens of the fleet, coupled with an exemplary music system. Vybz Kartel's portraits and photos were a must, and the lighthouse on this rig was seriously intimidating. Honestly, this build was nowhere near Kanambo 2's design, but it still broke necks. He was later transferred to Moja route, where he operated under Utimo Sacco, and it probably met his demise after that, but this was literally the beginning of the end of the fleet. Kanambo 4 was the last of this fleet, and on this one, the designers tried to maintain the original Kanambo theme, having an orange, yellowish paint scheme. As hot as he was by himself, his features were slightly paled out compared to his predecessors, which, if you think about it, explains why we never had Kanambo 5. Also, he came to the culture at a time where there was serious competition from rising matatus. Kanambo was not great anymore, and even the investors knew it was time to pull out the cord. Eventually, with the rise of stiff competition, the Kanambo fleet experienced gradual decline as new and better matatus entered the scene. As a wise man once said, maintaining an old vehicle with heavy custom installs and putting it against new fleets with better installs is a losing game. This statement is not only about vehicles, use it wisely. My name is Denaz, and thanks for watching.